Good morning, gamers, and we're gonna be playing a game called Space Haven. Because I'm into my RTS, my city builder kind of games, my first-person shooters. Even though this isn't a first-person shooter, but we're going to start this up. New game tutorial. We're just gonna start with the basics so we know what we're doing. Sure. New Haven 1. Not that big of a deal. Boop boop. All right, so. A little bit of mouse movement. Scrolling out, scrolling in. Now, we're going to learn what we're dealing with. Alright, so these buttons up in the upper left allows you to access the main management menus. These include the star map, ship and crew management missions, and research. Okay, this section gives an oversight into the situation of your ship, statistics like how long your crew will survive with the current amount of resources. Okay. This section lists the resource available on your ship. The small button above the slider can be used to modify the size of the window. Okay. This section lists your crew. Okay. Kendra, Kobe, Luz, and Milo. You can select a crew member by clicking on them here. This section shows information on what is present in the sector. This can be derelict ships, asteroids with resources, or ships and stations belonging to other factions. Okay. This is the game log. It will list various events as they happen in the game. This is where you control the speed of the game. It is recommended to use hotkeys to change the speed. Hotkeys are shown when hovering your cursor over the speed buttons. This button allows you to access different view modes of your ship. View modes gives information on things like temperature, gas levels, power, and crew, comfort, and visual in the visual form. These buttons allow you to toggle the visibility of walls and the roof. Okay. There is the build menu. Building the ship of your dream will be done through here. You can choose to build a very large ship or have multiple smaller ships in your fleet. These ships in your fleet are listed here. You can also select a ship here. Double click the ship to pan the camera to the ship location. The lower left window shows information on whether whatever is currently selected. It may be a ship, a crew member, or facility. There we have it. The basics of Infish. Don't worry if you can't remember it all. As the tutorial progresses, you will learn more about each section step by step. Alright. Space Haven allows you to create a spaceship of your dreams to carry your crew between the stars. However, to make things easier to learn, we will start with an empty hull of a small spaceship. Building 2s. We are equipped with handheld construction printer guns, which require build tools to allow for building. Build tools are made by Tool Facility. Let's start by building one. I will guide you along the way at first. Later on, I will let you build on your own. Boom, build tool. Resources, Tool Facility. Boom. So what I'm thinking this game is gonna be like is like a Dwarf Fortress kind of a game. I can't remember the other game. I'll think of not Clansfolk, but the game that Clansfolk was based upon. I forget. I'll remember the game later. Actually, maybe I could just look up real quick. Look up real quick. God, can't even type properly. What the game Clanfoot was based upon would be kind of like, or do they actually not have it here? Let me see. Of new. Oh, maybe I would never find it, right? Not Dwarf Fortress. Dwarf Fortress is like RimWorld, right? That's the game. It's gonna be kind of like RimWorld as well, assuming. Alright, system points represents computing power and are needed for facilities to function. As an example, a power generator requires 2 system points. Okay. System points are provided by system core facilities, which in turn require core points to be constructed. Now, don't worry if these 2 types of points don't make sense right away, they will become more clear with time. Core points represent the capability of supporting core structures on ships and stations and are directly linked to the canvas size. Change the canvas size when the hyperspace dropping into new sector. Drag the ship to the unemployed area. Let's increase the availability of system points on the ship by building a small system core. Alright, fair enough. System core. Okay, I kinda see like, oh, I can't click on those yet. Okay. There we go. So yeah, there's definitely gonna be that kind of win mode kind of thing. Let's wait for a crew member to bring resources to the construction. Miner is constructing it. Now we have a system points available and can continue with power generation. The beating heart of ship transforms energium into power to supply facilities. Low capacity power is integrated and provided from the hull, while high capacity power is distributed from the power nodes. Use power nodes to distribute high capacity power to advanced facilities. I'm assuming the more I do this, though, the higher that this will probably like the more sense it will make over time. Well done, you've completed the tutorial. You can exit the menu. What's the tutorial? Create optimal temperature and gas conditions for your crew. Oxygen generator. This is oxygen is essential for humans to survive on a spaceship. Oxygen generator. I know there's a Space Haven 2 coming out soon, so I'm a little bit excited for that also. But for now, this is what we got. Gas scrubber. Hazardous gas scrubber removes CO2, smoke, and toxic gases from the air. Produces carbon and raw chemicals needed only electricity. Needs only electricity to operate. The gas scrubber and the CO2 producer can be placed in the same room and do not interfere with each other. Oh, interesting. Okay. So, gas scrubber. So I feel like they probably tell us stuff that produces CO2. Next up, temperature. Too cold or too hot will force the crew to wear spacesuits. Being in a spacesuit will prevent the crew from sleeping, eating, or using the toilet. Interesting. Well, I guess that makes sense, right? You can't shit through a fucking spacesuit, right? I don't think so. Alright, the right temperature. They are capable of both heating and cooling as needed to keep the right temperature. Come on, scroll up. The right temperature is essential for people and plants to survive. This thermal regulator will try to maintain a habitable temperature. A bigger ship will require multiple thermal regulators to maintain the temperature. Once placed, select the thermal regulator and open up the facility information window to set the desired temperature. Each power to operate. Thermal regulators to ensure that the right temperature is maintained. There are two versions. One version can be placed on the walls while the other can be placed on the floor. The right temperature is essential. Is this the same thing? Okay. Guess a thermal wall regulator. Oop. Oop. I see. So you do need one for each. Like, okay, so the rooms are like each other's rooms, right? So so this should stabilize, right? Look at crew comfort works. Comfortable place to sleep. If crew members have to sleep in an uncomfortable place, it will affect their mood and energy. Bed. For optimal rest, sleep comfort, create a walled bedroom for your crew members separated from noisy and comfortable facilities. Okay, interesting. So I'm assuming it's gonna be over there. You can do bunk bed also. Interesting. I see. So probably best to put them. So yeah. So now this is like stabilized. I don't know exactly how this works. Now you have some beds for your crew, however there is a problem. The sleeping area is very uncomfortable due to it completely in the open. So you probably want to wall it off, right? Let's take a look at sleep comfort. Allows to access information on crew comfort, gas levels, temperatures, and more. Okay. By comparing the color of the area where your beds are right now, hand side legend, we can see that the comfort for very sleep. Let's make a positive comparison and can have a good night's rest. Wall. Makes sense. Door. Alright, so yeah. And door. Does these two doors change? Or is it just the look of the door? So yeah, you need a temperature regulator for every room is what I'm seeing. Great job. Now we have a proper bedroom walled off. You move and build a kitchen for your crew. With with the bedroom now having a positive sleep comfort value, we can go to the kitchen. The kitchen prepares meals. Meals from the kitchen will help maintain optimal positive health and mood. Select the kitchen. Open up the setting to create your own meal recipe. Place a table, chairs, and nearby to create comfort dining room for experience of good. Alright. Makes sense. So kitchen. Okay. And where was the other stuff? Wall. Furniture. Table. Oh, wow. They already signed the chair before the thing. Wow. Interesting. Okay. Place it in its own way to give your crew members some privacy. Yes, they can't use it while they have a spacesuit on, so. Okay, interesting. I like this beer a little bit better, right? Okay, that's the top of the ship. Okay. I don't know if there's multiple layers to the ship. Members can work effectively when sufficient light is present. Working in darkness may lead to more accidents. Alright. And place any more lights. No comfort. You complete the tutorial. Let's continue to basic industries. Let's start building two essential industry facilities, the water purifier and recycler. Alright. So the water purifier transforms ice into purified water, essential for many life forms. More water can be acquired by mining ice asteroids and purifying the ice with a water purifier facility. Once built, you can assign refining job, purify ice to water by selecting the water purifier facility and opening the refine tab. Striker transfers scrap metal, allows cover scrap resources salvaged from derelict spaceships to useful materials, to a variety of usable resources. Release heat and is noisy. Exposed with walls. enclosed with walls and a spacesuit door to ensure a safe work environment. Okay. So water purifier there. And then recycler. E. Can I still put up lights? Okay, industry facilities are noisy and can cause discomfort in the surrounding area. We should aim to minimize this by having industry facilities in their own rooms. Let's separate the large recycler facility and place some walls to improve the overall comfort. The industry facility have an error icon on top of them indicating issue requiring attention. Let's select the water purifier and see what's going on. Needs energy. Duh. High capacity power node. When facility is selected, the power left allows you to see information about it. The lower left window has an error message regarding power. Most facilities only need low capacity power, which is integrated and provided from the hull. Advanced facilities such as industry facilities need high capacity. The industry facility is not on high capacity power grid and will not function. We can also verify this from the power view menu. View mode. Boop. Power. Boop. Okay. Looking at the legend, let's fix that, expanding the high capacity power grid with a power node. Power node. This power node distributes high capacity power to facilities such as industry facilities and ship attack and defense systems need high capacity power. Use this power node to expand the high capacity grid and ensure facilities with high power needs are covered. Note that most facilities only need low capacity, which is integrated and capable. Okay, and I see, and it covers that much area. You telling me I can't add more lights? I guess the game doesn't want me to. Alright, the industrial facilities are now on high capacity grid and are ready to be used. You will start by transforming ice into water. Select the water purifier. Refine. We can browse the types of resources for production on the left hand side. We'll show you how to assign product tasks. Good work, we have now assigned a production task to make 5 units of water. We should assign some tasks at the recycler as well. Let's recycle some infra scrap into infra blocks. This basic building block for many facilities, sort of selecting the recycler. Good. Alright. Continue. Well done. Do the tour. Continue with expanding the hull. Alright. Crew members use small spacecrafts named builder pods to expand the hull of the spaceship. You will need to build a pod hangar and a builder pod. Start by selecting one pod hangar. Pod hangar acts as a base for mining for one mining pod, building pod, or starfighter. It can construct new pods as long as it is not reserved for any existing pod. Builder pods are used to build hull sections, while mining pods are used to mine raw resources from asteroids. Starfighters defend your fleet against asteroids. Rogue bots, enemy starships that can attack enemy spaceships and stations, pods, and starfighters require a crew member to operate. Builder. The builder pod is used to expand the hull of the ship's stations, operated by a crew member. Alright. Pod hangar. They're out here eating for real. They can't add no more chairs. That's kind of crazy. They're sleeping for real. Okay, but yeah, this is definitely like that kind of game, like Dwarf Fortress kind of game. So maybe these are the games I'm more interested in, but we'll see. Okay, interesting. So they just do the task. You don't even have to assign them the task. I guess this is like storage. Yeah, storage. That's it. Now we need to construct a builder pod in the hangar. Select the pod hangar. Builder. Let's wait until the builder pod has been constructed in the pod hangar. Oh, starfighter, miner. Okay, interesting. So I wonder if there's like relationships in the game. Cause how do we get more crew member? We now have a builder pod. Let's open up the build menu and assign a task to expand the hull of the ship. Oop. Edit. Guess hull. Let's use the tool to place a new section of the hull. Good work. Your crew can now start expanding the ship hull of the ship using the builder pod. When starting out, be mindful not to expand too much too quickly. Instead, expand little by little as you need more space. Hull block used by pods to expand the ship's hull. A single block builds multiple tiles. Well done. You've completed the tutorial section. You can do hyperspace capabilities. Let's continue by looking into how we make the ship capable of executing hyperspace jumps. Hyperspace jumps put a lot of strain on the ship hull. We need to reinforce and stabilize the hull before we can execute a hyperspace jump. Hyperspace stabilizer. Hull stabilizer provides multiple functions for a spaceship. Stabilized hull stabilizer reinforces spaceship's hull, strengthening the frame and generally improving structural integrity. Multiple hull stabilizers can work in unison to bolster the hull for beyond its normal limits. Hyper jump capability. Sufficient hull stability is also needed for hyperspace jump capability. Oop. There is a scroll wheel, so I wonder if there's a lot of like different stuff. Or is that just because, you know, you did the all section? It's like, okay. Boop, 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 boop. Hear me? Use steel plates as a resource to stabilize the hull. We will now wait for a crew member to load the hull stabilizer and for the ship hull to become stabilized using many basic construction blocks. The hull at the ship is now stable. We can continue with making ship capabilities. To be fully hyperspace capable, the ship will need a navigation console and enough hyperspace to hyperdrives to support its mass. Space for hyperdrive control systems needs equipment to operate. Hyperium drive combined with a navigation console enables a spaceship to hyperdrive between solar systems. Hyperdrives also increase the ship's mass capability. Use raw Hyperium as a resource and is less efficient than more advanced hyperdrives. Yeah. These things massive. So I wonder if that means that that's like the time they sleep is a slow arrow. One more thing is in order to travel safely between solar systems, you need ISP pills. Interstellar sickness pills. Effective prevention against interstellar travel sickness might cause some undesirable side effects and addiction. What? Your crew can get these pills from medical cabinets. We should build one now. In their facilities. We added 2 hyperdrives to fully support the mass of the ship. Safe hyperspace travel requires that hyperdrives can handle the mass of the ship. The larger the ship, the more hyperdrives are needed to fully support its mass. Well done, spacecraft. Complete this tutorial. Communication and point defense. Let's continue setting up point defense turrets on your ship and enable communications with other ships. Boom. Operations console. The operation console is used to hail other spaceships and communicate with their crew. It is also used to control scanner modules. Use a crew member to operate. Only if life was this easy, man. Imagine you could just like put down the blueprint and just have a manufacturing tool. Alright, good work. Your crew can now use the operation console to control point defense turrets on your ship and communicate with other ships. Hold up, scanners are detecting asteroids nearby. Your ship will need to set point defense turrets to shoot them down. Point defense turrets are used to shoot down incoming projectiles from hostile spacecraft. This point defense turret acts like a line of defense against incoming enemy crafts. Point defense turrets are only intended for defense purposes as they have a smaller range in contrast to long-range turrets. This turret, asteroid incoming starfighters. The turret targets incoming starfighter drones, blah blah blah. Oh, I see. Well, then you have some protection against asteroids and small hostile spacecraft. Everybody drinks coffee. Kind of crazy how that works. You're scheduled for sleep now. I will speed up time. So yeah, this is pretty much building a city. You can make it sad for certain kinds of food, right? Oh, human meat. Excellent, just in time. The asteroids are closing in on our ship. Let's see if your point defense turrets can shoot them down. Research shot down the incoming asteroids. Multiple point affairs can work together as an effective defense. If it's you can exit. Bro, we have fire on the ship, man. This could tip by looking into how we can research and unlock new technologies. And by two types of research facilities. These are research lab and research workbench. Instead from Earth, crew members with research skills may operate there to unlock more advanced technology. Once built, you can access technology options by selecting the research tab and opening research. Okay. The research workbench. The research workbench is used for reverse engineering purposes, supporting research efforts to invent new technologies. Crew members can disassemble mechanical items, dissect biological entities, and experiment with various resources to discover valuable information. Some research modules require a research workbench to be unlocked. Okay, but see, the problem is that I have a fire on my ship right now. About the fire. How they repaired it. Yeah, we only have 161 host ability, man. Alright. Alright, this is a research menu. Lets you start by selecting a research module you want to unlock. Oddly. Good information about the research module. Let's take a closer look at what all this information means in the specific research module. At the top of we can see what types of technologies this research module unlocks. The research module may unlock one or more technologies. Research module consists of research stages representing research work needed in steps. This research module only has one research stage. More advanced technologies may have more than one. This research module only requires two so-called basic research points to be done in a research lab by a few crew members. The research skill of a crew member determines how fast they can generate these research points at the research lab. In the next section, we see research bonuses acquired when crew members salvage facilities from derelict ships. Blueprints may be unlocked and count as bonus to a specific research module. Okay, good work. Now let's add the research bench to the research queue. Research. Good work. Let's look at more advanced research modules. Click here, energy refinement. This research module is more advanced. It requires 2 stages of research to be unlocked. You see it has 2 research stages here at the left. All requirements in stage 1 need to be completed before research can continue. Stage 2, research modules require work to be done both in the research lab and the research workbench. You can see these symbols on below. The symbols. Oh, okay, I see. Click the button to add it to the queue. Alright, now let's look at how we can modify the research queue. Start by selecting the second research module in the research bench. Good. At the bottom of the research queue, you can see the various options to rearrange the module, the queue. We will now remove the research module from the research queue. Good work, that is all for now. Click here to exit the research panel. Research points in interaction with the research lab. Each research interaction has a chance of success, which is determined by the research skill of the crew. But our point defense turn sucked. This tutorial is so long. Alright. The tutorial section. Alright, let's continue by looking into how mining works. Pod hanger, miner. Yep. You want to build another pod hanger? Yeah, man, our host ability kind of sucks right now. Although it's been going up. I guess because we have the host ability thing. Which is like, I don't know. Is it this thing? Yeah. Now we have to construct a miner pod. Boop, boop, boop. So mining, we will start by selecting an asteroid in our current sector. The lower left, you can see information about the asteroid. Mine it. Yep. Boop. Our standing crew will now use the miner pod we built to earlier to mine ice. We can exit the tactical map. Let's watch as the crew member carries out the task and use the miner pod to mine ice. Alright. Let's continue and look how we can execute the hyper jump space. Boop. Regardless, here's the system menu. You can manage the regardless levels of attack or defense system to give the order to prepare for hyperspace jump. Executing hyperspace requires that your crew make all the necessary preparations. This includes manning navigation console and having all crafts return to their home hangars. Your crew is now preparing for a hyperspace jump. Any crew members working on tasks outside of your ship will return to space. A navigator from your crew will be chosen to man the navigation console and they will start charging up the hyperspace drives. Your crew works on all required tasks automatically. Any errors will be resolved as long as your crew have the necessary resources. All you need to do is give them time. We will wait for a crew to finish preparing for hyperspace jump. I will now let you control the game speed, familiarize yourself with the hotkeys, but be mindful not to use fastest game speeds for very long. Watch how the hyperspace drives spring to life as your crew work their ship. Let me see the star map. Let's travel to the nearest sector with the direct. And double click on the target sector to get your ship there. Now let's look into how we drop out of hyperspace and to select the center. Oh my goodness. Outstanding, you have traveled to a new sector. The sector map screen where you can deploy the ship and your fleet into the sector. We will not reposition your ship this time. Alright. Let's continue with looking into how we can manually control the crew members and equip them with weapons. You can take manual control by drafting a new crew member. This is needed when you want to explore direct shift and when your crew is engaged in combat. Let's start drafting Lewis. Draft. Move the drafted crew member. This is done with a right click on the mouse. Alright, set to quick weapons. Let's move to storage. Oh wow, Licky. Let's see what we have here. Members have a primary and secondary weapon slot. The secondary weapon is used if there are no primary available. The armor slot, these are pockets. So what's in the nearby storage? You now know how to manually equip weapons from the storage. Equipping items manually from the storage can be time consuming, so let's look at loadout tab, another way to equip items. After selecting another crew member, select loadout. Now you can assign items for a crew member and they will equip the items on their own time. The big crew is a real time saver. Go to the secondary. You now assign a loadout and the person will try to equip the missing items on their own when the items are available on the ship. Once you have assigned a loadout, you can copy and paste it into another crew member using these buttons. Do not equip your crew with weapons. I will let you control the game speed. You can select. You can exit main menu. Image draft your crew member, draft all your crew members and move them all close to the shuttle hangar. Good work. Now let's select the shuttle by clicking on it. You can dock your shuttle at the direct hold points. Oh, getting straight into it. Direction. Derelict ships have been abandoned by the crew, however danger can still be present. You will need to explore the ship and make sure that you have eliminated all threats. For now, the crew will run out of health or oxygen to allow us to learn how exploring the derelict works. EMA is a dummy, so no need to panic. When standing still, crew members fire automatically on the nearest visible target. You can also manually fire on the target with a drafted crew member. Oh, here we go. Okay, to use, equip this item and placing in the secondary slot in the crew member infantry. Then with the crew member, drop the right click on the target and select the secondary. Okay. After you cleared all direct shift, you're presented with a choice. You were leaving the crew members drafted or undraft them all. Or can I? Are they not drafted? They are. Why is it? Okay, there we go. feel like that's everything, right? Is that everything in the tutorial? Listen, select the camera, move to assist. Once one or more resources have been selected to be salvaged, the crew will may travel to the direct shift at the dismantled facilities and collect scrap. These were the basic steps for salvaging shots right ships. Anyway, shot to see crew. Holy, this tutorial is long, bro. It's been an hour now. Ship Explorer PCS hold my beer. Uh, okay, so this is the salvaging and transfer part. All right. Tutorial is finally completed. Next time we see this, I'll probably have an actual spaceship built and everything. And Dollar, love y'all, and see y'all in the next video. Oh, and plans are to eventually start playing Era 1.